wrong. You know it's the wrong thing to do. So do your TDs and your other ministers. And it is absolutely disgraceful that they've left you in here on your own this evening and that they haven't even come in. They've taken to the airwaves up and down this country, including the councillors, trying to detach themselves from this. Well, what it says to me is it speaks to the absolute chaos in government. You know, this thing of going back to constituencies and going back to people in rural Ireland and saying, well, it was the Greens that made us done it. Now, they need to grow up. They need to grow up and they need to own this. And for Eamon Ryan to come back and say, well, I'm going to change it now and it's going to be changed, and you can see him backtracking. The people in rural Ireland do not trust the Greens, Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael. And they have very, very good reason not to. People in rural Ireland have done more to address the climate change than anybody else. They have done that through NHAs, SPAs, SACs, leaving their land as being a public good. And they were promised, for years and years, they're promised to be compensated for that. And they know that Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael and the Greens have turned their back on them. And you know it, Minister. So now you're saying, well, trust us, we'll only do it for the towns with less than 500 people or more than 500 people. It just doesn't wash. It doesn't wash, and it's absolutely disgraceful to think that we're here in this day and age and we're saying to people who are absolutely to the pin of their collar that they can no longer cut turf, or they can no longer buy some bags of turf or turf when they need it most. And who's going to police all this, Minister? It's the National Parks and Wildlife, our new landlords in rural Ireland. You have lost rural Ireland, you have lost your rural voters, you have lost rural dwellers, and this is just another nail in the coffin. People are more than willing, as I said, to address climate change and to play their part. But telling people at this day and age that they cannot cut turf is just beyond belief. And your councillors know it and your TDs know it, and you need to own it. You need to own it. Stop hiding behind the skirt tails of Eamon Ryan.
Deputy